Hello and welcome to your astrological vibrations for Monday, March 5th, 2018 by Gaia Blooming. I am Mimi and our energy mantra for today is I flow from my center. And today we are upon some shifts. Today we have Mercury shifting into Aries. That's going to be 11:34 p.m. Pacific time. Tomorrow we have Venus shifting into Aries. Later this week, we have Jupiter going retrograde. Later this week, Mercury actually reaches the shadow point. But today, before we get to all these shifts, what we have is major energies holding space at 27, 28, and 29 degrees in Pisces, those final degrees. And I do think those final degrees are kind of a galactic portal. It really is. Pisces finishes up the zodiac. Aries begins the zodiac. So we're in this space of endings and new beginnings. We're in this space of karmic release, karmic contracts being cleared, shifted as we move through these planetary energies over these next few days. But it really does feel like it's a portal into your next level, into your next cycle, starting with Mercury. Mercury's like kind of leading the charge in and through this. What I think is important, as always, every sign builds upon the next. So your next level builds upon your last level. That energy of oneness that we connect to in Pisces. And it can be hard to look outside of ourselves for that oneness. Ultimately, it is all connected, it is all one, but finding that oneness, that center, that stillness, that union within ourselves and being in that place and flowing and moving from that place, I think is the ideal as we shift gears from water world into steamland, steamy, the steaminess of the fire that comes with Aries and the deep waters that move with Pisces. Now, to help us with the water world energy, we have the moon shifting into Scorpio. So moon into Scorpio definitely takes us into some deeper waters with the Pisces energy. Now, there's not a huge amount going on today, but we do have the moon in Scorpio connecting to Saturn. Saturn is in Capricorn. So Saturn in Capricorn is our responsibility to our purpose. So with the moon in Scorpio, we may see some light. We may see some shadows around our connection with and to our purpose. So it's really important to look at both. Speaking of balance, so the miracles now, I'm going to dig into these cards first. Two actually came out. They were stuck together. And when I read them, I was like, wow, this is so perfect because it really does call to mind the balance of things. So, some shadow stuff. The qualities I dislike in others are disowned parts of my shadow. I don't necessarily think that it's exact qualities that we see in somebody else that are disowned parts, but usually if there's something that's triggering or we're noticing it about in somebody else, there's always some kind of counterpoint within ourselves. It may not be exactly a mirror image, but when something does affect you in that manner, look and see how you are interacting with it. That's how you can dig into those shadow energies. The other one that came out is, I don't dance around the perimeter of the person I want to be. I step in fully and completely, really owning and honoring our own personal balance, which involves looking at the shadow and then fully taking that responsibility. So the moon in Scorpio is helping us do just that. Besides that, the other thing that we have is Mercury shifting into Aries. But that means we have Mercury at 29 degrees in Pisces through most of the day. And we have Venus also coming into that 29 degree energy. 29 degrees, master degree, testing degree. So sometimes we get tested on the lessons of Pisces. Ultimately, it goes back into the oneness. But also let's go back to the beginning of Pisces and the subject of Pisces, which is choosing your illusion. And with Mercury in Pisces, your mind is going to be activated. What daydreams, what fantasies, what illusions, what stories are you tuning into and believing at this time? And are they stories that benefit you? Are they stories that revolve around projections that you have taken on? Are they stories that revolve around cords? there's the chords. Are they stories brought to you by the Hierophant? This is the Hierophant card in traditional tarot. By priests, leaders, teachers, etc. Or are they stories that resonate with your own knowing? Today is the day to really get in touch with that, and more so than ever, choose your own illusion, use your illusion, and connect in with that which brings you into your center. You know, if you get thrown out of your center by a story, there may be some work for you to do around that, but it's also some kind of sign that, like, something's off here. Ultimately, that which is true for you will tune you back into peace and tune you back into your center. So keep finding what your personal flow is in and through these energies. Mercury into Aries, I think we'll get into tomorrow, but let's just say it can be very brash. Very brash, very forward moving, and hopefully from this centered place, hopefully very passionate and balanced in taking you into what you want to move into. I should mention, like I said, Mercury will be going into its shadow period later this week. We are heading into a Mercury retrograde in the sign of Aries. So that's going to be very interesting in and through our own inner personal work that's going on. So I showed you the miracles. Now let's get into Rumi. Rumi, the lover and the beloved, all one within. When you move beyond consciousness, you caress the beloved. When you move into the unknown, beyond everything, the beloved caresses you. Oh, sweet beloved, the divine, the great beloved, has a passionate desire for you, to love you, to touch you, to make the divine presence known to you, so that you will cease to fear the darkness, take delight in all of life, and become mesmerized by the beauty of love in its endless emanations. But how do we resist love at first? Oh yes, we have been burned before, have we not? Abandoned, betrayed, so painfully disappointed, cast aside, and have suffered at the hands of some unworthy lover. Can this great divine love affair be tarred with the same brush, with the same bitter expectations that keep the heart closed? You are too beautiful to be hidden away behind a bitter and gated heart. That is unworthy of you. So then, can you allow the great beloved to reach for you, to receive that sacred touch every day, to be spoken to with words of love, to receive? You who give of yourself, can you recognize the beloved wishes to give to you too? These need not be mutually exclusive happenings. Come now, deep down, you know the genius of the divine is such that in being received, much is given. You shall not be selfish in letting yourself be seen and loved. Allow it, rejoice in it, take delight in allowing yourself to receive life, and let the world soak up the ardent glow of your sensual surrender into the great beloved's embrace. This oracle brings you a message. Something has to change in your physical world. You are in need of more sustenance, more love, more connection, more nourishment that touches your body and soul and brings them deeper into oneness with each other, with life, with love. Dare you open up and allow that love in? The great beloved has desired that this be so. Will you heed that holy desire? Will you allow love in? Say yes. If you find this difficult, now is the time to gently, carefully tend to the walls you once placed between yourself and life. Walls of tentativeness, excessive caution, fear of abandonment and betrayal, doubt of your own lovableness, and doubts based on past pain without substance. You are so much greater than these crumbling walls. They are the stuff that is designed for demolition, not devotion and honoring. Can you begin to unpack the bricks you mistakenly believed were essential to your safety and well-being? You are too vast to see that for that small puddle of thought now. The oceanic world of love is your true home, and the sun is beating down upon you. It is too hot to gaze at the ocean longingly from afar, or even stand by its edge. Strip off your layers, run to the ocean, and dive in. This oracle brings you special guidance. An offer or an opportunity is on its way to you or has been recently been presented. It may be an idea you've been nurturing or one presented you by another person. Sit with it. Do you feel the exhilaration? Do you feel the energy at the thought of saying yes? Then say yes. Allow yourself to receive. There is divine encouragement in taking risks that feel wild and alive to your heart. The sacred honoring ritual. Place your hands in prayer and say, May the almighty divine love and my most beloved brother Rumi Bless me with the ability to truly receive, in all ways, divine abundance and prosperity, being delivered to me now by the grace and the mercy of the heavens. May I clear and heal any resistance to receiving life truly, that I may attain my divine destiny and know and receive love truly in all its majesty. So be it. And you can rest as long as it feels good, and then you have finished your honoring ritual. The lover and the beloved, you and the universe, the oneness of all that is. So that's it for today. Few days to purchase a reading with Joseph. They are $15. And over the next few days, you will be entered into a drawing to receive a reading with the both of us. So thank you to those who have purchased it. You'll be getting an email from him if you have not already. And you can always book a reading with me too, GaiaBlooming.com. So that is it for today. There is enough love in the world for you, and the better it gets, the better it gets. Namaste.